Hello viewers, my name is Sahil Monga. In this video, we will see how to execute a stored procedure from Microsoft Flow and how to loop through the result set returned by the same stored procedure. So in this SQL, I have a customer table and this customer table is having four columns: customer ID, name, phone, and number of employees. I have this USP get customer details stored procedure which returns the top five customers with the employee count less than equal to the count that we would give as an input. So here if I give 2000 and I execute this particular store procedure, so it returns me five customers with the employee count less than or equal to 2000. So let's execute this stored procedure in Microsoft Flows, and as a result we should get these five different rows, and for each and every row we should be able to get the customer name, phone, customer ID, any of the value, right? And based on that value, we should be able to perform our next operation, be it calling a common data service and fetching the account details from Dynamics 365 based on the customer ID. So let's navigate to the flows, create a new flow from blank, manually trigger a flow. I'm naming it as fetch customer details from SQL server. In order to connect to your on-premise SQL server, you must install on-premise data gateway. So I have it installed already, and let's use this step, execute store. Oops, it says the connection failed, but it shows me my server name, sample DB. Okay, I think there is some problem with the connection. Let's create or fix this connection. SQL Server authentication. My server name is this. The database name is sampledb SA, and the gateway is this one. So let's create a new connection. Okay, so the connection has been made, and we can see this is the stored procedure that we want to execute, USP get customer details. So it should ask me for number of employees, so let's enter 2000. So the next step is once we have the result set, from this step, for each and every row we want to get the customer name. So use the control apply to each. Before I do that, let me rename this step to get customer details, because this is the step name that I'm going to use in my expression here. Body. So here I'll paste that name, the step name, result sets, okay, table 1. So once we will execute this flow, I'll show you how our data is there in this step. So it would be underneath result sets, there would be a table 1, and underneath table 1 we will have our customer data. Okay. And the next is assign the customer name to a variable. So let's declare a variable here. Initialize the variable customer name. It is of string type. Let's come back here and set a variable. So select the customer name variable, and in the variable value, let's type in the expression items applied to each customer name. So this is what we want to fetch. Okay, let's save it here. So you can fetch based on your requirement, you can fetch any value, and based on that then you can perform your next operations. Okay, so let's test it now. So it's done. So it is executing. Okay. So the first customer name is Contoso Pharma Electronics, and in the get customer details step, let's see what is the output. So this is why, so I use that expression body. Under body we firstly got the result sets, and under result sets we navigated to the table 1, and in table 1 we have these customer details. So the customer ID is 1004039383736, and for the 36 the customer name is Contoso Fabrication. And if I go to the last one, so it is the Contoso Fabrication, and if we match it to the results in the SQL, so here it is, so it is Contoso Fabrication. So this is how we can traverse through the result sets which are returned by the SQL server, on-premise SQL server, when we execute a stored procedure. So based on these parameters you can further query the other systems. So thank you.